Let's get it. Be sure on your way in to smash that like button. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Cowboy Nation. And on top of that, while you guys are here, just know this. One day at a time, one movement at a time, brick by brick. Well, I'm going to give you guys my observation from the nation. Come on. We're going to listen to Dak Prescott, too. We're going to listen to what he have to say. There's no practice today, by the way, Cowboy Nation. But there's always news and information that we can talk about. Let's go. Shout out to y'all. Morning gang. Appreciate you guys so much. Shout out to Sam Williams, Jalen, Tolbert, Tupac and Biggie, shout out to them. Jimmy Johnson, shout out to them. Come on. Shout out to you all that's watching. The real ones. MySpace, Black Planet. Let's go. The Ashy Legs. Shout out to the Ashy Legs out there. Appreciate y'all too. The community is needing all the people in here. Let's go. Yup. Come on. What's up, everybody? What's up with y'all, man? What's good? I don't know why the Cowboys took a day off, but it is what it is. They did this for, development. It's about developing your craft, right? It's about developing your team of people to be around you, to be on the same page or what have you, individual meetings and things like that, so that everybody can be on the same page, right? Shout out to you, Ken Owens, Jay Lombardi, and Justin. No days off, right? Well, y'all know Law is going to be able to talk to you. Shout out to you, Mario. Appreciate you on the Facebook, man. I really appreciate you as Modius and Jay Lombardi, the first person that's in here. Thank those who went to lawnationsports.com and commented there in the community tab there. I really appreciate you guys so much for providing me the feedback and everything. I really appreciate you. Lovey Brown, I saw you, man. You was one of the first people over there helping the channel out and helping the actual website out. I really appreciate you, man. I really do. I really do. So, first day of Minicamp, we heard the news, we heard the storylines of Dak Prescott doing his thing, Jalen, Tolbert. I appreciate all of you guys that watched the video or the still pictures that I put up yesterday about the training camp or what have you and the things that happened. And there are a few things that people will always be negative about. Law, it's been 27 years, Law. I mean, come on, Law, it's been 27 years. Why do you still talk about this team, man? And then there will be some people saying, yeah, man, I love this because now we're hearing news about guys that they probably followed in high school, went to college. Now they playing with the silver and blue on. So there's two ways to look at it. There's one way you can be negative. The other way you can be just optimistic, or you can be right in the middle. I had people hit me up say, why do you talk about this all through the off season? What we supposed to do? Sit down and say, hey, man, we're not going to put out no content until September. I will see y'all in September. No, it don't work that way, beautiful people. It don't. You got to be able to talk as it go through the process. You win some, you lose some, right? That's how it goes. Just like this last season around this time, it wasn't the Eagles fans, it was the Washington fans, right? They were talking left and right. We gonna beat y'all again, man. We on our way, baby. The Washington Commanders are, well, at the time, the Washington football team, on their way. They was talking all of that stuff. And then when we played them, you can hear a gnat fart now, you know. They know where to be found. But now you can hear all of the Eagle fans bloating about their team, saying that, hey, man, we want Dallas. We want Dallas. All we try to do is see our people play. Yeah, Con, appreciate you so much, Pegs, man. You a real one over there on the Facebook. Silver and blue for life. You know, we want that. They all want Dallas now. You know, the more you win, the humble you get, right? We don't see a Giant fan nowhere in here, right? They're second place in this division as it relates to total rings or what have you that counted since the Super Bowl era. But they're in second place, and you rarely hear Giants fan talk noise because they know, right? The higher you up, different type of attraction you get. But that's a story of a different day. We'll leave it to the Eagles and the Washington team to keep talking. But and some of the bitter Cowboy fans. Because people fail to realize it takes time. It literally takes time. People would think if you really contextualize it, it was almost 20 years for the Rams to just win their Super Bowl, right? They won one in 99 or 98, 99 year, right? Greatest show on turf. And they just now making it back to the Super Bowl last season. One can literally argue that technically that wasn't that team because they went from St. Louis to L.A., right? Two different types. The fans that collectively in L.A. wasn't really rooting for the St. Louis Cardinals, or St. Louis Rams, where it was the St. Louis Cardinal team back in the day, but St. Louis Rams, right? Front runners, right? Front runners is what I call them. But neither here nor there. People think that the Cowboys should be in the Super Bowl every single year. Newsflash. That's not how it works. And being in the Super Bowl is not the only reason why you should support and root for this team. If that's the case in a scenario, when I pull up this chart right here, there should be nobody watching. There should be none of their fans watching. These teams right here waiting for a chip, none of these, the Cardinals, 75 years, according to Cowboy fans, some of y'all, there shouldn't be Cardinal fans. They shouldn't even be able to talk, right? It's been 75 years. They shouldn't have no fans in the stand, right? And I don't care what they doing or when they went back to it or what have you. Because the name of the game is getting there, not getting there to lose, right? I don't see multitudes of Bills fans saying, yeah, man, we made it to the Super Bowl back-to-back, dog. That count for something. No. It don't. Nobody going to be saying, yeah, man, that's the tape. I think that everybody the Washington team gave the Bills a whooping in the Super Bowl. The Cowboys gave the Buffalo Bills a whooping in the Super Bowl. I think even the Giants, all of us, we beat the mess out of them in the Super Bowl. But the Lions, 65 years. The Chargers, 62 years. Bills, 62. The Browns, 58 years. The Falcons, 57 years. Oh, the third of some of the Cowboy fans that's out here rooting for Cincinnati, 55 years. I don't care that they made it to the Super Bowl last year. What you want me to give them a cookie? My fan base is still better, or our fan base is still better, according to my thoughts or my rationale, right? But a lot of people will be willing to trade places right now just off of 1 year of that fame. But it's been 55 years. 53 years for the Vikings. 53 years for the Jets. And 48 years for the Dolphins. And I get it. Somebody going to say, well, 48, shoot, Cowboys right around the corner. Well, that's not close to years. Would you let a 48-year-old male date your 27-year-old daughter? No, you'd be like, hold on. If you don't sit your geriatric self down somewhere, dating my daughter, get out of here. Scram. But I get it. You have every right to be angry and upset and mad at everything. But the Cowboys are not that bad. As it feels like for most. What about Jacksonville Jaguars? This is my guy, Vampire. Appreciate you, man. I don't know about the Jags. The Bills lost 4 straight with Jim Kelly. Right. Jim Laws, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. You're right. So, the thing is, the Cowboys, the news that we heard about, what I talked about in this video, of course, you see Schultz out there working his magic on the sidelines, not participating with everyone, right? We see that. We understand that. That's Schultz. And then we see good old Jerry Wayne and things watching the Hogzilla. I think somebody hit me up and said, hey, Law, what about Hogzilla? Well, the vanilla gorilla, however. But he's watching his prime defensive tackle inside, right? We like seeing this, Cowboy Nation. I want the best for him anyhow, right? But there will be some growing pains with that. But Jalen Tolbert, we hear glowing reports of Jalen Tolbert. We hear all of the good things that's happening with Jalen Tolbert, being able to be the punt return specialist and a guy that can line up on the outside and as well is giving you some slot action. This was a touchdown from Dak Prescott. I get it. For those who want to detract and say, well, Law, he just a rookie. He won't do that. Give the man a chance to fail. Give him a chance or a time to fail before you guys paint that brother into a corner. And I like the aspect of what the Cowboys doing this offseason as it relates to training these guys individually and waiting. Like I said with the DK Metcalf situation, bring him in if the price is right and, of course, if you're willing to give up something. But neither here nor there. We got Schultz that they trying to figure out a long-term situation for. 10.9 for your mind is coming off regardless, and that's money. $10.9 million. And D-Law, they expecting D-Law to step it up. They are expecting D-Law to look at what Parsons is doing and say, okay, can you bring us some of that? Right? Are you getting something better for that? And Schultz, a lot of people will look into this and say, oh, my goodness, man. Schultz, just get out there and perform. Stop making it about you. We get it. We absolutely understand you want your long-term contract, but you better be careful. And this is Ball and as well as Tyler Smith. We need these guys on the front five. This is the thing is about this unit, the front five. All of those guys must be on the same page, and it starts this offseason. Those boys better be on the same page. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Italy Joe. I see you, fam, just in the Facebook group. And I thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring. And Cowboy Nation, we got to step it up as it relates to this front five, the offensive line. That unit is a pure and true unit that everybody got to be on the same page. But neither here nor there. Not to bore you guys with those still photos because they don't allow videos anymore. But I wanted to talk to you guys about Sam Williams. I literally said, if he can just come in and be a rotational piece and give us 4 sacks, I'll be satisfied with that, right? Granted, if Basham do his job as well as, of course, Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong, if those boys give you solid production and you mix in, there was for a sec, shoot, I'll be okay. But just yesterday in practice, we talking about practice, not a game. We're talking about practice. He generated close to 4 to 5 sacks, and this is Sam Williams. And before I hear the detractors say, well, it's practice law, well, that's the case. If that's the case, how come Basham didn't have 4? Dorrance Armstrong didn't have 4? You see where I'm going with it? Dante Fowler, we should be hearing storylines of them having 4. Why all of a sudden only Sam getting 4? But I do take everything with a grain of salt, Cowboy Nation. I understand. There's a Reggie Davis in every practice. And for those who don't know, Reggie Davis always lighted up in practice. He was the guy that bounced from team to team, somehow landed on the Cowboys twice, and was lighting it up in practice. Yeah, man, my guy, Maurice Kennedy. You guys remember? And we would say, man, them boys looking good, man. Reggie, we finally got our guy. But then when the lights turn on, he disappeared. And I'm talking about my guy, Reggie Davis. Me and there's a video. Hold on, let me find it. Me and Shango, we was live out there in Oxnard, right? And we was like, man, that dude number 11, man, Reggie doing his thing. Me and Shango were like, yeah, Reggie, that's our boy, man, you know. Speedster, take the top off the defense, catch everything that was thrown his way. Embarrassed a lot of people out there on the field. But when they turned those lights on, the thing is with Reggie, it happened just right before they turned those lights on. When they put those pads on, and then they was allowed to hit. Yeah. When they was allowed to hit, Reggie was like 5'11", 6 foot, right around that height, 174 pounds, give or take. But when they put those pads on, boy, Reggie started having the fumbleitis, dropitis, and everything else. So I just want to tell you guys, I get it, right? If you want to temper your expectations. But while it's in process, it's okay to talk globally of those players, right? And that's what we want to see out of Sam Williams. Reports out there from Todd Archer as well as the Jabril Cox or what have you. People were looking at the timetable for Jabril Cox. I'm looking at it like this. Don't rush the kid. Let's be slow to that. What do you mean, Law, about being slow to Jabril Cox? We are very thin at linebacker. Razor blade thin at linebacker. We are. And the same timetable that I'm looking for Jabril Cox will be the same type of situation and scenario of how they handled the Malik Hooker situation and scenario. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for them to handle those things, slowly move them around, let them work isolated drills, get them acclimated with running around left to right, what have you, up, down, left, right, you know. And then you figure that out with Jabril Cox. But don't throw him out there too quickly, because there will be a situation where you overcompensate and then Blake Jarwin happens to you. You know, you get reworked and you get re-injured on something else. And as a linebacker, your duty is to take on blocks. Your duty is to shoot through A or B gap, field, people fail to realize the linebacker role to a team is very vital. I don't think that the Cowboys would have won a Super Bowl without Ken Norton, right? A lot of people don't talk about, in the 90s or what have you, a lot of people don't talk about our linebackers. If I were to poll you guys right now and say, man, who's the 3 linebackers for the team in the 90s, right? I want to know. Can y'all post it down in the chat, the communications tab? Let me know. I'm going to quiz you guys. Who were the linebackers? We talk about Tony Tolbert. We talk about Charles Haley and those ashy legs, right? We talk about all of those things. Inside joke, right? We talk about the DBs, Kevin Smith and all of those other guys, but those linebackers, crucial, right? Move Fowler to the strong. Move Fowler to the strong linebacker. Start Sam Williams. You on the front office, you on to something. Fowler do have some positional flex to play linebacker, by the way. Not saying that I would like to see him at the linebacker or whether it is at Sam role or what have you. And Sam Williams do have situations of positional flex to be a linebacker. But what I'm looking out of Sam Williams, he don't have that bendy bend situation. Not saying that you have to have a linebacker to have bend. So majority of his pass rush techniques, to me, fits into the mode of muscle memory, right? His get off, that's how he wins. His get off, his releases, what have you, from the LOS, getting down or shooting down to the quarterback, getting skinny. So I don't want to have that kid learning too much. Pick you one side and learn from that. Get better at that particular craft. And if you want somebody that you move all around like a chess piece, let that be Parsons. That's just my thoughts. Don't put too much food on the kid plate as it relates to Sam. Jim Jeffcoat. Yeah, appreciate you, Jamal. Appreciate you. Ken Norton. Look, man, my people, Dexter Coakley, all of these people you guys are naming. Boom. Let me put that chat up here. All these people y'all are naming. I love where Sack King. This is from BE. Appreciate you. Yep, before Norton went to the Niners. Yeah, shout out to old 40 Winers. Malik Hooker is going to have a Pro Bowl year. Off the topic. Ain't off topic, man. You right on topic, baby. You right on topic. We kicking it before we play this audio of Rain Dakota Prescott. We just kicking it right now. We having a good time. As you guys are on your lunch break, you're putting down your food, your oodles and noodles. You going over there getting more duck sauce. You might be chilling over there. And then you say, let me just listen to Law Nation talk and ramble just a little bit, right? and we kicking it. Darren Smith, shout out to you, man. Thank you for jumping in. Yep. Hooker is uber talented. I like that. Uber talented. Let's see. Vital piece in the 90s. Kevin Smith, cornerback. Paid to watch, man. Appreciate you, Antone. We appreciate you. Have a margarita on you. Appreciate you. Gerard. Appreciate you. But before we play some of this audio, I just want to let you guys know that Dak Prescott should run for president or at least governor, mayor, city council or someone, because he's going to give you guys some straight up good answers to any question that's thrown at him, and he don't falter. I said, man, that dude right there, I see a politician career in him down the line. This brother can really swing through it in the right way possible. Let's listen to this audio. Appreciate Cowboys.com, and I appreciate all of the work and dedication that they do. You can check out the full interview on Cowboys.com.
Minicamp, just talk about what you guys hope to accomplish and how you feel this been.
Before we go further, can y'all hear that audio? Let me know.
In Minicamp and being able to do everything.
Yeah, I feel great, obviously, just as you said, not being restricted, being able to every drill, everything, and it counts. It matters. Just being able to get out there and having so many reps with these young guys, having such a young receiving core and young team, just being able to rotate those guys, but me actually getting there with those reps, be able to have to explain some of the things to them, but those are good quality reps for me and for some of those guys we're going to actually need in the fall.
Mike made a point to talk about the difference between this year and last year. You were able to run more and do more and build more comfortable. You seem like you're leaner and more mobile with the scramble drills. Do you feel that way?
No, I definitely do. I mean, I go into each offseason trying to be a better player and person than I was the year before. And so at this stage, at this point, I definitely feel like I've accomplished that. I think I'm far, so much further along than I was last year at this time. I mean, just being able to get the team reps, as you said, being able to move more, take care of my whole body and just focus on everything and not just my leg. It's a huge difference.
Nugget. If you don't think it's a nugget,
you must be out of your goddamn mind.
That's a nugget right there, baby. Don't you guys know how much stuff that they had to hide? And they tried to hide it last year to the max. To the max. Shout out to my guy, Big Jaw. To the max. They literally had to hide a lot of stuff. You had HBO, Showtime for your mind. You had everybody with a camera all in the Cowboys' faces. NFL. You had Tupac and Biggie climbing out of the grave. Tupac's still alive, by the way. He just beyond the ice wall. But he climbed over the ice wall, made it back to the United States, and he was like, it's like pleasure and pain. We stuck in this game. Holler my name. He was sitting there recording himself. He's a fan, by the way. Talked to him just the other day with Billie Holiday. Said sitting there kicking it with Malcolm. Till the day came. You know, we were all out there watching Dak Prescott go through his progressions. Can he really still throw the ball? Will he be validated for the money that the Cowboys paid him, right? And on top of that, Cowboy Nation, when you look at it and contextualize everything, this brother had to hide all of that stuff, right? He did. So he said that now he's further along the way. My God, Dallas, I knew I was going to get somebody. I knew I was going to get somebody to come in here to talk about this stuff.
You stupid.
He said, Dak, no, he can't throw. Dallas 8-9. You know, here's the thing. The Cowboys went 12-5 last year with a quarterback that can't throw, who threw for 37 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, which numbers mirroring exactly what the guy who won the MVP did. And that was Aaron Rodgers. I can't make this stuff up. But on one end, one guy can't throw, and the other end, one guy can walk on water. He just decided not to in pivotal games, and his name is Aaron Rodgers. He said, hey, man, I got my one Super Bowl. It's been 13 years ago. I can just chill. I don't have to win another Super Bowl because I am the best thrower of the football. Come on, man. This is crazy. It's crazy.
When you're doing more on the move as a quarterback?
My confidence is through the roof. I mean, I feel good on the move or not. So, I mean, to say that on the move is my best, I mean, I feel like I can make every throw from on the move, yes.
Dak, seeing Kellen on the walkie-talkie and your headset and all that, I'm sure that you guys have done that before, but how much does that help? And is that a part of the off-season process of getting used to him? Is he talking to you in your earpiece with that, or is he talking to somebody else?
No. I mean, that's honestly the only way we've practiced. We do that throughout the week. I mean, that's the normal process of Kellen calling through the
importance of that, though, getting used to that. That's sometimes these can be a grind, but I'm feeling like that's probably something that can help you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know any other way to answer that. That's the way we've practiced, the way we've prepared, and I'm sure when I come on Sundays, it's second nature. We've been getting that call. I've been approaching the huddle. Mm-hmm. Everybody's communicating the personnel. So yeah, once you get into the fall, we've done this since April. So.
What does it mean to have Dalton Schultz out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Obviously, just what he means to this team, his leadership, and just what the role he stepped into to be the guy at tight end. And to be a leader of this offense and to make plays. He's a guy that I can count on, that I can trust, and that's just continue to grow, and it's grown through these last few weeks.
Mike also talked about the fact that last year they were being smart with you, and they didn't have the many called runs in the playbook and things. They limited some of the things because of you coming off the injury. He said they probably would put more in this year. Do you feel that way, that you can run more than you did last year because of you're 1 year away from it?
Yeah, I mean, I expect to have about 20 carries a game.
What's that balance between getting some of that back, but also understanding, like you said, when you got your contract, that you've got to be smart about it?
Risk versus reward, and just understanding that, yeah, some of those are called, and why are they called? To go get the first down, get some yards, get out of bounds, and just know the importance of everything. And the coach isn't going to call that for me to go try to run people over and stiff for him. So just being smart and understanding that me being available is the best for me.
Yeah, and I do like the joke or what have you of 20 carries a game. The threat of run is always a big situation on how you play, especially on defensive side of the coin. Do you come down and crash on the quarterback, or do you drop back into the flats and say, I got to cover the flat guy, or I got to cover the guy that's in the deeper third? I'm going to bail out and just going to go straight to the deeper third area because now Dak Prescott is on the roll. But when you have the threat of the run, it isolates the linebacker, and the linebacker got to make that business decision. And we've seen teams struggle with those principles, but you got to be able to run. And that is a situation whereas do you need a running quarterback in order to win? No, but you got to have that threat and make them pay when they do play certain styles of defenses. You got to make them pay. And I think what really threw Kellen Moore off is the making the necessary adjustments when Dak Prescott got injured, what have you. Like I said, these stats right here, this is Dak Prescott before the injury. 5-1, 73.1 completion percentage, 302 yards per game. Passing yards attempt, 8.4. After the calf injury, he's 6-5, 65 completion percentage, 263 yards per game, 6.8. Now, for those who look at this and say, well, it had nothing to do with the calf injury.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
We can literally see it, right? It would be a different storyline if those numbers were mixed in. And one can argue before you say, well, it was the kind of caliber of defenses that you played. No. Here's the reason why. Buccaneers were no one to sneeze at on the defensive side of the coin. Did we play them before or after the injury? Oh, we played them before. Oh, the Chargers, they were no one to sneeze at as it relates to their defensive situation. And when you look at it and contextualize it too about the Panthers, at that time they were the number 2 or number 3 respectfully defense in the National Football League when we played them. Shout out to you, Sam. He says, I appreciate you for the donation there.
This is Sparta!
He says, what kind of a year do you think Dak will have? MVP candidate year or average year? Much love, Law Nation. Appreciate you, man.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Let me ask you this. If you were to take those first half before the injury numbers and you do your math on it, it would shatter whatever numbers that my guy Aaron Rodgers presented to us, right? But when you mix in the highs and lows, and I'm not saying that Dak Prescott can walk on water, he got some things that he must, I'm telling you, he must get better at, especially down the stretch of games. And if we're going to go only by last year, you can literally say to yourself, all right, cool, he's going to have to get better in those departments regardless, right? But neither here nor there, when I look at this and I look at what Aaron Rodgers was able to do, and I say, well, those are MVP numbers. And this is including the fact and the notion that Dak Prescott had an injury plus from that injury, that second half of the year. right? Completion percentage is 68.8. We talking about a point, 68.9, right? If you want to crucify Dak Prescott over that, then you can. But when I look at it, 4,449 yards, 7.5 yards per attempt, which anything north of 6.9 or 7, that is not considered dinking and dunking, by the way, Cowboy Nation. That's nearly 400 yards more than the reigning MVP. 37 touchdowns. Oh, he threw 37 touchdowns. Those stats are similar. And as well as both got sacked for 30 times, Dak Prescott had 10 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers had 4 interceptions. Oh, so you mean to tell me the difference between 10 and 4 makes a world of a difference? I don't think so, Cowboy Nation. I don't. But I get it. The detractors will say, man, come on, Law, what are you trying to sell? I'm not selling you anything. Because I would flat out, if you were to tell me, if we were to switch offensive coordinators and you give me the Packers offensive coordinator, I'll take that any day. I'll take that any day. As it relates to game management and game planning, I would take that any day. I would take that particular system that they run out there in Green Bay land any day. We got a guy that's still learning, and Dak Prescott was able to generate this type of outcome. That's all I'm saying, too, with that particular thing in mind. On top of that, Cowboy Nation, not to be any disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers, he's been playing for a long time. This is not his 7th year, by the way. I really digress on this, but neither here nor there. Let's listen to more, and I want you guys to screenshot that and play that one, you know.
Dak, was getting leaner a conscious decision by you, or was it just a product of you being able to do more physically than you were able to do?
Yeah, honestly, it's just a product. I mean, weight's the same, so people tell me that, I say thank you. So I mean, it's just a product of working on everything and not just my leg, and whether it be rotation, whether it be diet, whatever. Just focused on, as I said, just every way that I can get better.
Dak, what excites you most about this offense? You know, you have guys that are eager to prove themselves this season, and whatever the outside talk is, I know that doesn't matter to you, but for you personally, what excites you about this offense?
Just the youth that we have, as many young guys that we have, and we're going to have to count on some of those guys. And I'm excited for just what they've done in the time that they've been here, and I know the steps that they're going to take once we get into training camp. And as you said, excited for those guys just to get their name be known, because there's a lot of guys that can make plays and guys that are going to be huge to this offense that I don't think their names are known yet.
You've mentioned. Right. He talking about the unknown, baby. He talking about the unknown. You know, I said that last week, and I said that a couple of weeks before.
Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something doesn't exist.
So what are you saying?
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
You could not live with your own failure.
Appreciate you, Mr. Wright. He says, Law, honest question. You watch football. What does Zeke have to do to shut Cowboy Nation? To shut up Cowboy Nation? Even with his injury and a bad offensive line play, he gave us 1,000 yards. Cowboys' expectations of our players is so much higher than any team. You know, the problem is with the Cowboys, when you have greats, legacies, it's hard to overshadow those greats, those legacies, you know, especially when you have the all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith, and a third of the Cowboy fan base didn't appreciate him. They didn't appreciate him. The Super Bowls helped Emmitt. The Super Bowls, winning those Super Bowls helped Emmitt. But a third, I remember growing up, and people with Barry Foster, Thurman Thomas, I meant to say. Oh, my goodness, Barry Sanders, Natron Means. You know, they were going, hey, even Jerome Bettis at one point. L.A. Rams Jerome. Metcalf, all of these guys. Oh, man, you put him behind this offensive line. People rarely gave Emmett credit. Oh, it's just a system, man. They run it. Oh, man, he ain't that great. He don't have breakaway speed. And you rarely can see Emmett get caught from behind. I think he was like a 4'6" guy, short, small in stature. So now when we fast forward, and even with Emmett, people was talking about on his last end, shoo. Man, Sherman Williams. They had everybody just didn't really give credit to Emmett. Troy Hambrick. Man, I seen Troy Hambrick, man. Give him a chance. I just wish I had YouTube then, right? But the only way people are going to let up from Ezekiel Elliott is the Super Bowl. And that's the same that could be said for Dak Prescott. And unfortunately, it haven't started yet, but I believe this will be the year. The same will be said for CeeDee Lamb, especially since he went at 88. So they're not going to get off of his NUTs, man. They're going to stay on Ezekiel Elliott. They're going to talk about his hair, his nose ring, his weight. Is he big? Is he small? They even talk about his mama, right? That's why you ever go to Miss Elliott, you go to her page, she got to fight for her son every single day. They even talk about the man's mama. And 9 times out of 10, it's not Eagles fans. It's not Washington fans. It's not even Giants fans. It's Cowboy fans. Literally. They would talk about the man's mama. I digress. People just hate Dallas. Yep. They do. Shout out to you, man. Expectations on our players always higher. You right, man. You right. It's
That's what
that's what it is, man.
Tolbert before. Does he continue to be one of those guys you think can have a breakout year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you draft a guy in the 3rd round, you expect him to come in and make a difference. And losing the weapons that we did out wide, we're going to count on him, and he knows that. But he's a guy that's come in, had the right approach in it, learned the playbook, asking more and more what he can learn, and he'll continue to get better. And I'm sure he's going to take huge strides just in this month we're off, knowing his personality and the guy he is.
What did you give him today, Tolbert?
Yeah, I mean, great. Just getting better. Continue getting better. I mean, all I'm comparing him to is the last time we were out there at practice, and he's making a stride. So as long as we continue to do that, he's putting himself in a good position.
At the time that you've not had with a guy like Washington, CD's been out the last couple of weeks. How do you make up that time between now and when you get out to Oxnard?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get together. I'm fortunate, obviously, to have a field at the house. We'll make sure that we get out there a few times and just make up that chemistry. Just get some of those routes, some of those things that we may not have feel comfortable on. But CD's a guy that we've been working. We've worked all the way up to this point. So he's not necessarily what I'm talking about. But James and some of these other guys will make it a point to get some extra time in.
It's early in the offseason program, but anyone from all 3 phases that may be sticking out to you, a newcomer?
I mean, a lot of the young guys, honestly, and I wouldn't dare to say one, just to be honest. Just there's 31 other teams listening as well. So a lot of those young guys. I mean, we're a young team, and obviously you look in the draft and you look at what we did, and you look at our roster. Year 1 and year 2 guys are going to be asked to play, and there's definitely a few on both sides of the ball that I'm excited for just what they've done and how quick they've come in and made an impact just out there at practice.
Were there times last year where you thought about protecting your leg in a way that you no longer do?
No, I can't say I did. I mean, once I get inside the lines, game day, I mean, I'm just focused on whatever it takes. And yeah, I mean, you go back. There's actually a couple of plays I looked at and may have said that wasn't too smart. So no, not necessarily.
But were there times that you look back that you would run now that you didn't last year?
Yeah, but I think that's all just a process of practicing that as well. I can say that post-snap, but why didn't I do it at that time? Why didn't I react that? So looking at that is going back in this time of this offseason and reacting that way, making myself react that way at times. So when I come to the game, getting those scenarios, it's second nature. We're not looking back saying what if or if I could have done that. And I mean, I don't play the game with regret, so it's just about going out there and playing in my preparation.
What about
Particularly with the read option, like in the red zone? It just didn't seem like you guys did as much of that last year, and obviously you coming back from the injury. Do you think that there's a time where that could possibly come back, or is that in the past for you?
Yeah, I mean, it may have been in the playbook some last year. The guys just didn't give me the read, you know, so you didn't think I was reading it. But I would, I wouldn't be surprised if it's, third and short, red zone. They're called a little bit more, but those things were called.
You've had past summers where you've taken your receivers or all of your pass catchers on a trip. Is that something you plan to do this year, or now that you have the field, is it less something you focus on?
No, I mean, I still plan to do it. I think it's just something to break the monotonous cycle, whether it's the building, whether it's my field. Just get the guys in a different environment, train, make it a little fun, and get some camaraderie at the same time.
Camaraderie, baby.
And what he can bring to your Washington.
Yeah, I mean, obviously just a veteran. I mean, you turn on the film, contested catch guy. He's got some juice. I mean, he can take the top off, and just in the time that we've had, he's been very, very friendly and quarterback friendly. And so running good routes. I'm excited just to see him with the defenders now.
Is this the leanest you've ever been, or just?
Before they talk about Dak's build or what have you, he's talking about James Washington. I can't wait to hear one of the people on radio say James Washington. But neither here nor there. I think that James Washington is a guy that's going to catch those difficult 50-50 balls, and it's going to be like a similar catch radius guy of Michael Gallup. And we need somebody that can aggressively take and attack the ball. And I like what CeeDee Lamb, as you guys looking at his highlights there, I like what CeeDee Lamb brings to the table. And what I'm looking for CeeDee is, for one, take some of the pressure off of him, alleviate some of that, and let your other guys eat as well. Before I hear the detractors say, oh, man, why are you trying to take pressure off of CeeDee Lamb? No one caught the ball more than Cooper Kupp last season, right? No one was targeted more than Cooper Kupp. No one had, I believe, more yards than Cooper Kupp, nor touchdowns. And all the L.A. Rams did this offseason is put things around him to alleviate the pressure from Cooper Kupp. I'm not saying that CeeDee Lamb can't do those things of Cooper Kupp or what he was able to do. But dog it, don't have just what my guy just said earlier. Don't put higher expectations on CeeDee Lamb than Cooper Kupp. Right? But what Cowboy fans would do, collectively speaking, I want you guys to see me when I say this, you guys would look at Cooper Kupp's production and you would literally say Cooper Kupp is better. Oh, man, Law, it's just flat out that he's just better. Oh, man, Cooper Kupp, he could walk on water. If Cooper Kupp was in this system, no. If Cooper Kupp was in this system, or if Cooper Kupp was on the Cowboys, they would say, Cooper Kupp, now do it all by yourself. It'll be Cooper Kupp and Noah Brown. Do it. Make it happen. Go get it. And I'm not trying to sully my guy Noah Brown. He's a hardworking guy. But some people just won't understand what I just said. They would never understand it. They'd be like, come on, man. If the Cowboys just had Cooper Kupp.
Latest you've been since the NFL, I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Since NFL or college?
Yeah, I mean, no, definitely. Total, ever. Yeah, in college I was a meathead.
So I'm guessing, do you feel faster then? Have you timed yourself? Are you faster? Have you done any?
I'm leaner. I'm not faster.
Okay, I'm just.
Yeah, I'm leaner.
Back to Tolbert for me.
Those don't necessarily go hand in
hand. Yeah, he said he's leaner, not faster. At least that was a wise response. And football is all about scheming too. Law. Do you have any proof on that? When we played against the Broncos in 2013, Peyton Manning tricked the entire team and ran it in for a touchdown, right? That counted. Why was he able to do that? Scheme. You guys, I know some people right now that's probably older than Peyton Manning can still run faster than Peyton Manning any day that he played in the National Football League. But Peyton was able, you guys who remember that play, by the way, show of hands who remember that play. Peyton Manning rolls out, tricked the entire Cowboys defense for the score. So sometimes it's not about the swiftness of the feet.
You said there was a play last week where you were really happy with his spacing and timing. Do you know what that was that he was referring to? I think it was in-team periods. And then also, you've talked about not giving him too much too quickly. Now that you're a few weeks into this, how does that change the conversations you're having?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know that particular play, but now it's about going back to that and really explaining him to why that was good, or going back to finding other plays that maybe wasn't so good and explaining him and talking through them. So now he has the reps to see it and to learn from, and just the more reps we get, the more we can talk over those and continue to grow.
In terms of self-improvement this offseason, what have you focused on?
I mean, everything, just throwing the ball from every platform. As I said, using my back leg, every throw, keeping it under me, and it's paid off. I can see I can definitely tell.
Simi Fehoko, do you see a real difference in him from year 1 to year 2?
Who? I'm sorry.
Simi.
Okay.
Do you see a real difference in him from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, oh, come on, man. All I heard was the Oko. No, definitely. I mean, he's obviously, it's a stride that you have to take, and he's taken that in this offseason, whether it's been times of throwing, the extra throwing, making sure that he's been there and he hasn't missed any of those. And then you get out here in these the football, the 11 on 11 or whatever it is, and he's taking strides, and he'll continue to take more. He's a guy that is going to be big for us.
That's Simi. All right, so I had someone to say, hey, man, Cooper Kupp and CeeDee Lamb is not even in the same conversation. And I will give you that. But what you can't do is look at Cooper Kupp as if now that he was doing it his entire career. Cooper Kupp rookie year wasn't in the same room as CeeDee Lamb's rookie year, right? Yes or no? Right? Cooper Kupp's second year, not even in the same room as Lamb's second year. Yes or no? Right? But what people do is they tend to look at the good years and erase all what it took for them to develop to where they are at now. Cooper Kupp wasn't a first-round draft pick, by the way, Cowboy Nation. The Rams developed him, right? He was a guy that grew into that particular role. He had 2 crazy, insane seasons. He is on his cup right now, right? And he's not looking back to being the Cooper Kupp of the old. But so many people, they tend to do these things. They would talk and belittle and shun their own players for another player that's in a different system who took time to develop to their particular role that they are in. The same could be said by Devontae Adams, right? He wasn't the Devontae Adams his first or second year. No one saw Devontae doing the things that he's doing now, and now that he's over in Raiders land. So that's another thing. That's why I believe I'm glad that I do these type of shows, because I'm giving you guys a chance and an opportunity to look at the bigger picture, the complete picture, and not as an isolated situation of a one-year deal of what they did just in 1 year. Just like even with the Anthony Barr, right? It's not the fact that Anthony Barr, I see some people going back and forth with the Anthony Barr conversation. It's not the fact that he's the elite or not, but you're looking at someone that you can bring in from a level of experience. Write this down. A new broom can sweep the floor good, but that old broom can get those corners. So you want somebody to bring in, and I said this before, we are razor blade thin at linebackers. We are. But Simi Fehoko, I hope that he pick up the system well. He's been hot and cold this off season. They said he makes some spectacular plays and then he'll fall off or what have you. But to be fair to Cooper Kupp, Simi Fehoko. if Simi Fehoko could be Cooper Kupp, then baby, we'd have hit the lottery. But to be fair to Simi Fehoko, let's see if he can continue to develop. Let's not slander the man for right now. But Dak Prescott spoke glowingly of him just then. So let's go.
What happened to your hat? Back of your hat.
It's an old hat.
Sweat.
Yeah, it's called work.
They're talking about the man.
I didn't say that.
Dak, you talk about being leaner. Is your diet drastically different than it used to be?
I can't say it's drastically different than a year ago. Maybe a few years ago.
College,
Definitely different than college. I mean, college was Taco Bell, McDonald's mandatory weekly. So I mean, that's being the fast food and all that, removing that for the most part. It hasn't changed from last year. Just training a little bit different, doing a lot more rotational things that I think have just dropped some of the baby fat, I guess, off.
Is that just a thing that happens for all players? They reach the mid-20s, late 20s, and the metabolism starts changing a bit?
I mean, obviously, definitely metabolism changing. We have to be aware of that, right? Want to continue to play and make sure we're in the best shape. And I think if you listen to coaches and honestly just older vets, they'll say that a lot of people get more fit, I guess you can say, or drop a pound or two each year just to make sure that they're staying fit and staying lean.
Do you still have to do the same warm-up before practice that you've done with Britt and those things?
No. Found a different way to get the same results or the same warm-up out of that, just in different ways.
How are you glad that you don't?
Yeah, just more efficient. Yeah, just more efficient. Feel like I'm not getting maybe 2 workouts in before practice. So
that's good stuff, man. Be sure to check out Cowboys.com to listen to the full audio of that. Let me share their YouTube link because that's where I was watching it, and we want to give the Cowboys credit with their YouTube accounts, what have you. So be sure to check that out. The link is now in the box there. And I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I got my guy who's been waiting patiently, Coach Marv, on the line, man. Talk to me, Coach. What's on your mind? Once, twice, 3 times a lover. Hey, Coach Marv, you're live. Unmute yourself. Call back, Coach. We going. Let me know in the chat, Coach. Coach, I'm gonna unmute him again. Coach, let me know if it's something on my end. If you talking and I can't hear you, somebody else call in. Let them be a guinea pig, because if I know if it's someone else calling, maybe it could just be your phone. I don't know. 657-390-7391. Let me see if I can get D Shift up in the house, man. You live, man. Let me see if it's me. Hello?
Oh man, the blasphemy law, the blasphemy, bro.
Okay, good.
Man, they since I know you've been piloting the show, man, but since then they've been trying to kill my guy Dak, man. We got a troll, so we just gotta go ahead and put it out, man. Chris Sims did his top 40 QBs, right? Right. And Dak was what, I think number 9.
9, yep.
And so when you talk about that, man, and you got Matthew Stafford ahead of him, Joe Burrow, Herbert, Tom Brady, and Russell Wilson. Now, last time I checked, when Tom Brady was playing with New England in 2019, he only had 24 touchdowns and lower than 4,100 passing yards.
Right.
So everybody, praises the great Tom Brady. Like, his name can't be compared to someone in present day. We're not talking about his legacy.
Right. We can't talk about that. Yeah.
Legacy-wise,
yeah.
Because if that's the case, because when the Cowboys when we try to use our legacy, we can't bring that up.
Right.
So don't tell me what Tom Brady has done with great teams. Because let's not forget about the strip by Rod Woodson, and all the kicks. What was your guy, Vinatieri?
Oh man, he won three Super Bowls for them, man, with that golden foot, man. 3 of them.
So so we talk about those. So I don't want to bring up the legacy. I'm talking about moving forward. Moving forward in 2022, Dak Prescott's team lining up against all these other quarterbacks teams and their situations. And so when we compare Dak, I can't really compare him to maybe Josh Allen, Mahomes, and maybe Rodgers presently.
Right.
These guys are continuously in AFC Championship and NFC Championships, around the Super Bowl. But I'm not going to look at Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford just because they just got to a Super Bowl. Like Joe Burrow, great to him being in his second year.
Right.
But I mean, maybe moving forward, like Dak might have to kind of step it up and keep pace with a guy like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. But like Herbert's not untouchable, right? Wilson's not untouchable. Tom Brady in 2022 without Antonio Brown, and I mean let's not look at Tampa Bay like they're moving. They took a step forward either, I really remember in that first game Antonio Brown giving us fits. They're not gonna have Antonio Brown come the first game.
Right.
They're not gonna have Ndamukong Suh sitting up there. That I mean, Knicks is good, so we don't really want to take too much from their defense. But we put north of 30, or we put some points on the Tampa Bay, so it wasn't our offense. And I have a very high confidence in Tolbert and what he's going to be able to bring. Because on one hand, you kind of say, well, he ain't going to be able to put up numbers because of the weapons you have around him. But then it's like, well, we don't have no weapons. We don't, Lamb's not a suitable number one receiver when all he's done is get north of 1,000 yards and just ascended from just being he's only been 2 years in the league,
2 years in the league, and they already saying that he's like a 6-year veteran. So that's between CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs. Nobody even mentioned Denzel Ward, right? He could go through his career, develop, work on his craft, and then all of a sudden he get a $21 million contract APY.
Well, they forget that all these teams we're playing they don't exactly have all pros in their secondary.
True.
Like you just need 3 number one wide receivers to get through the rigors of the NFL.
Right.
In fact, SARS Tampa Bay's secondary was a little weak. When you look at Cincinnati Bengals, I'm not really impressed with Chidobe Awuzie and Eli Apple.
Right.
That's not.
I think with the Bengals,
you got Bates in the
Bates,
the
Jesse, Jesse is no one to sneeze at. I think that Trey, the front, the defense that they got, him and the other guy, I forgot his name at the tip of my tongue, big boy who caught the interception against the Chiefs, a quarterback, I forgot his name, who turned the game around. He had caught that interception.
Mm-hmm.
I've got his name at the tip of my tongue. But big boy down inside, man, those guys, man, they got a good defense. And I think that week 2, we can still match them and put up some good numbers.
They got a good the Bengals. I mean, that's more or less how they made it, right? Like,
right.
At the rate of way Joe Burrow was getting sacked, they definitely weren't. They definitely needed something to counter that for them to be successful, because that's usually that leads to a demise of a team.
Right.
When you're getting stacked that much, so they definitely had other pieces around them, and I think the Cowboys' biggest problem was just the inability to run down the stretch, the penalties, and I think you're more durable and more built to be able to be a running team. Lightning can't strike twice, so to say.
Yeah.
So I don't see our offensive line with the problems as far as the power in the interior is concerned, and then our running backs becoming unhealthy. You had Zeke. I guess it was more the matter of get Pollard more involved. I mean, that was the biggest thing. Zeke, for whatever reason, still was trying to get like those number one touches, or not trying to split so much with Pollard, but that has to kind of change. Just
coaching malpractice, in my opinion. I think that the coaching staff did these things wrong. They played musical chairs with the offensive line. That's one thing that you don't do. You're supposed to stick with your guns and say, okay, hey, Terrence Steele, you won that spot. You're going to be the right tackle. La'el Collins, hey, we having issues right now with Connor Williams. If you want to be inside, hey, we can put you there. But if not, you'll be the backup guy. They should have went on ahead and did that way versus a 1 week you're going to play here, next week you're going to play there. And they should have looked Ezekiel Elliott in his face and said, hey, man, you got a PCL tear, which they didn't leak out to no one until after the season, by the way, which that was a mystery in its half, by them keeping that hush-hush.
They act like it was all good with Dak, like, oh, yeah, you just on a regular,
right.
Get your quarterback to a baseball specialist.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was crazy, man. Yeah, Schiff, that was crazy, man.
We'll see, man. Health being a big thing, too, but I think you don't have so much of a you're more set on your personnel, and hopefully that will help in more of the game planning, as you're saying. But I'll holler at you, Law.
Appreciate you, man. Good call from you, man. I like that call right there from my guy, man. He's always on point. We got 3 other callers just holding in the queue, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's I'm gonna pick up y'all points right quick, but before we go into this next audio, just bear with me.
What were you the most interested? What have you been the most interested in? Kind of your top 2 or 3.
This is Brad Sham.
Observational checklist items when it comes to checking out the Cowboys in the offseason.
The first thing in watching OTAs and minicamp, actually the very first thing is to remember that you're not going to really learn very much.
Right.
Because it's really for the coaches. It's all about the installation of certain schemes and offense and defense. You won't really find out anything till they put pads on in camp. But you always want to see what the new players look like. Do they show you anything? I think one thing that's beneficial this year, frankly, is that we are so far back to a pre-COVID kind of operation.
Yeah.
We can be in the locker room and talk to players after practice, and you can find things out in a non-interview situation. So what that has led to is me being a little more excited than I was before about Tyler Smith, because the people who Dak Prescott's eyes just lit up 2 or 3 weeks ago talking about him. And
that's important.
Zach Martin is very impressed with him. And Will McClay thinks he's got some Eric Williams tendencies. And so those are all good things. Doesn't mean he's going to be that right away. And
Big
there's
facts.
going to be some growth. But I think that he's got a chance to be something. So, you want to see the guys that you think are going to get a chance to play. And so Tolbert hasn't done very much until yesterday because he had a little hamstring issue, but they're babying that. He looks like he's got a chance to be something. In fact, I was talking to Babe yesterday. Babe Laufenberg was sitting out there. We were practicing our regular season work.
Yeah.
Listen up, bro.
I was trying to think back to what the receiving core was in 2018 at the beginning of the season before they spent all the draft capital to get Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And it was way worse than this because it was Alan Hearns. It was Tavon Austin, who never panned out. It was rookie Michael Gallup, who is not anything like the Michael Gallup they'll have when he comes back from injury. And we still haven't seen Washington, who is a really serviceable player, I think. But Tolbert looks like he's going to have a chance to make a big contribution. You can't tell much about the lineman, but the big tackle, especially from North Dakota, he is an intriguing player. I'm very interested in seeing him in pads, and I think he won't be this year what he's going to be, but he might be something. He's really long for a tackle.
Oh,
and
Matt
but he
Walesko
seems to have some quickness and some punch. And I'm really interested in the development of the tight end from Wisconsin. I think he had
Ferguson.
Don't misrepresent this or overstate it, but I think he has a lot of the elements of what Jason Witten had in his game. I'm not saying he's Witten, but when we first saw Witten, we didn't know he was Witten.
Now, shout out to all of those guys, man. This Brad Sham. Matt Walesko, that's a future situation, right? And I heard he gave up like 3 sacks. If, they weren't in pads or what have you, but if you were to look at that and say, okay, hey, Sam Williams, Matt Walesko, but that's a story of a different day. Now, he did talk glowingly of Tyler Smith. Those are important things because if we can get that level, if we can just get a piece of some type of physicality on that front, I believe everything else will work its way out. MJ, you've been waiting patiently, man. Talk to me, man.
What's up, family? How you been doing?
Oh, man, well, man, I can't complain. Talk to me.
Man, I'm just watching your show. I think my boy Dak, I think he's going to have a good year. He get better and better every year.
True that.
Sometimes he have some deficiencies, but he always come back because he studied and he practiced hard, and that's a good thing with the kid. So I think he's going to show off this year. Plus his leg is all the way healthy.
Yep.
He got a good camp. The receivers are going to shock you. I'm telling you. I keep telling y'all, man, kid Tolbert going to have over 1,000 yards.
His rookie year, he going to have that 1,000, huh? He going to have that 1,000.
Yeah. He going to get over 1,000. I guarantee you that.
What James Washington going to get? What Washington going to get?
I think Washington going to get about, because they ain't going to rush Richard back. I think he'll probably about 700, 800, 900.
Okay.
He's going to have a big year. Dak Prescott going to have a big year.
So what's Simi going to get?
If they play Simi, but he got to catch that ball. That's what I keep hearing in camp.
Yeah.
He's inconsistent. He's fast, but he must catch that ball. Now, if Simi give you 500 to 600, that's good if he on the field. But the 4 keys going to be Tolbert, Washington, CeeDee Lamb, and then, number 20 in the slot.
Hold on.
They're going to use him a lot. He's going to
I'm doing my quick math right now, so let me see. Put up Dak Prescott.
Tolbert, 1,000.
That's 1,000.
He's going to probably have the most, probably 12 to 1,400.
So hold on. Let me say this. Dak Prescott had 4,449 yards last season. Okay, so if you saying that he's going to have a 1,000,
another 4.
So that means hold on. That means Tolbert is going to have 1,000.
Yeah.
You said James Washington is going to have 800, right? So that's 1,800 yards there. All right. Yeah. So you saying that Simi is going to have what? 650, 700?
If he play.
If he play.
You got to put Lamb at like 1,200.
So Lamb will have 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that put me. I'm doing quick math. That's 3,300. So if there's 3,000, where we get this other 1,000 from? The running back, Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard and the tight end.
Oh, I forgot all about the tight end. Shoot, I mean, if that happened the way it happened, plus
he might do
said,
it again.
Hold on. You said 50 sacks, right?
Yeah.
If that happened,
get the ball more.
I'm gonna find you a Jalen Tolbert jersey, right? And I'm gonna find you somebody along the defensive line. And remember, I'm holding you accountable to that. I'm holding you accountable to it.
This is the year. I'm gonna tell y'all, you Cowboy fans, the whole world, and I'm glad y'all did it. Y'all got your boy. He's in that lab. He's finna. You think, what school did he go to? Kellen Moore?
Boise.
He about to put the whole Kellen Moore offense in that package because he said, man, these guys are killing me. I better run the ball, and I better do some of that number 20. I'm telling you, he got so much pressure on him. And your boy don't care because if he do his job and have a top 5 offense again, he's going to get hired again. Coach. Our coach. So he's not worried about getting fired. Y'all keep thinking he's worried about getting fired. No. If he gets the number 1 offense again and they win 12 to 13 games, 11 on up games again, he's going to get hired again. So he's not worried about it.
You talking about who? You talking about Coach Mike McCarthy?
Mike McCarthy. If he do his job again, they're gonna like, wow. I'm gonna tell you, the Cowboys got a lot of talent, but the key, we got to bring it out. Like, we be having the talent, but like I say, we got to finish. Once we learn how to finish, we will go all the way. It's all about finishing, and our defense is going to take us to the promised land. I'm telling you, because like you say, like what we say every day, you say your favorite word, iron cut. Iron sharpen iron.
It do, man. It sharpens it, man.
In practice, all them corners, them DBs run 4-3s. It's going to make them receivers run them route and say, oh, man, I can't beat him. I better trick him with some good route running. That's going to prepare them for the game. Now, and the good thing for Dak Prescott, I don't think that it's going to be hard to sack them because now your center been practicing with Duke. He saw what it did for number 78. That's why that money, Cowboy fans, they're going to have to pay him at least $8 to $10 million a year, our right tackle. He could make the Pro Bowl because when we ran, they did, and your boy,
Boss Cowboy.
Cowboy did, he did I watched that film section, and I was watching all last year. The Cowboys coached themselves. They burnt themselves because he was better than Lionel. If Lionel will piss the Cowboys off, Dallas Cowboy fans, they say Lionel $50 million, and for somebody to give you $50 million after you almost went to jail for nothing, and the Cowboys always do that. The Cowboys have your back, but them players, we could talk all the smack we want about Stephen Jones and all them, but I'd rather have an owner and GM like that have my back. If something happened to me, and more law, no, we gonna see what the law says. If you get out, sir, we got you.
No doubt, man. No doubt, MJ, man.
Look, instead of other people don't give you a chance, and they gave that man $50 million, and he should have went to the Cowboys. He wasn't a team player. He didn't practice. Even though he hurt his hip, he came back out of shape. They gave him a chance. And he should have came back and said, no, man, put me at that left guard. I'm going to be there with my partner, who I always be with, so we could run bulldoze these team and beat the hell out of them.
No doubt, man.
He didn't want to get back in the middle no more. He wanted to stay his fat, lazy ass at right tackle, and he cost us because of his play.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you so much, MJ, man. I thank you for calling in, bro.
Come on, man. Let's stop playing around.
Let's stop playing around with it, man.
Yeah. If them boys don't want to play with them, people say, you got to play for your team, not for yourself. And Lionel Collins did not want to play for himself. And when they ran that number 78 side, 50% of the time, they was running for big yards.
Big yards.
I can't wait till we play Philly and all them other teams, because that boy still is going to kill him in the running game. Now we got that big.
All right. Hey, MJ, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. You excited, man. I said, man.
How about some Cowboys, baby?
How about them, man?
We finna help Dak Prescott, y'all. Just put it that way. Dak will have a good year.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, MJ.
Yeah. All right, family. Shalom. Have a blessed day.
Shalom. Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, my gosh, man. Shout out to MJ.
Another one.
You know, I want all of the things that he said. I think somebody put the numbers down, and that would put Dak Prescott anywhere from 500. Somebody had the numbers up there. I forgot, man, who was it? But put it down again. It was 4,800 to 5,000 yards. If what he's saying would happen, and I would like for that to happen, though. By the way, but I'm with Coach Marv a little bit, man. Let's get back to ground and pounding that thing, and then that to open up the pass. And let's not look for being the most yards out there. Although we just witnessed a team threw the ball all over the field. I think Stafford had over close to 5,000 yards last season. But I want this team to get back to grounding and pounding. And speaking of that, I got the 214. You live, 214.
Big Law, what's happening, dog?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to me.
Man, shout out to Big NJ that just called in, man. I love his passion. But Law, I got three quick points. Just let me know how I'm doing on time. You don't gotta bang on me. Just let me know.
Right. 'Cause I was about to. I was gonna open it up for I let him talk, man.
You don't gotta bang on me, cuz. You don't gotta bang on me. I know you got a show to do, man.
Yeah, go with it.
But man, I've been trying to hit you for like the last week. I got some heat on my chest. So first point is with Stephen Jones, man. I really don't want to beat a dead horse, but Stephen Jones, he really, really aggravates me. And it was on the Pat McAfee show, it was a GM on there that kind of proves all of our points about the foolishness that the GM Stephen Jones be doing. Like it's like a loophole that you have to where you can kind of like you have an infinite amount of cap space, and cap space is really like an illusion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like the teams that don't want to pay a player, they only not paying them because they just don't like the player. So, bro, just say that instead of like doing all the foolishness that they did with almost all the good players that we had. You know what I'm saying? How they just did Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? How he was trying to lowball DeMarcus Lawrence. And it's just like that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard to sip Kool-Aid when you have Stephen Jones doing the foolishness. It's like, bro, you don't want to win, man. You just want to build. Build what? When you gonna be finished building?
Here's the thing. He want to win, but he want to win it his way. Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. He want to win it. It's an ego thing, man. You ever watch Trading Spaces or Places? I believe a long time ago.
Did you watch the movie?
No, Eddie Murphy, man, way long ago. They destroyed that man's life over $1. Over $1. They made a bet for $1. I'm quite sure that Stephen Jones is the same way. But go ahead. Trading Places. That's the name of the movie.
Yeah. So basically, he just cheap. That's basically what you say.
No.
Okay.
No. He's not cheap, but he got a philosophy that he believes that is right, and it's hard to change somebody's mind. That think that that's what they know is right. They tend to say, man, everyone else is wrong, but I'm right. And that's ego.
Yeah.
Edging God out is what I call. But go ahead.
That and like my last thing I'm gonna say about Stephen is just that like when somebody in the front office is gonna tell him like, bro, get out the way. You're in the way. You're stopping forward progress with the stuff that you're doing. Like how we gonna like, bro? We need ballers. We don't need no goddamn 6-7 stringers from other teams. Like he loved those guys. Oh, you're a 7 stringer. You're a 6 stringer. Oh, come on our team. We love you. Yeah, we'll pay you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, come on, man. And then, but the next thing I wanted to say was that Dak. I really kind of feel like I'm liking what I'm hearing from like training camp or like minicamp or whatever about Dak and his mechanics. Like, cause that's the main thing that Dak kind of has to like work on. And I like the fact that he's honing in on that particular thing, because I feel like, a lot of his like missed passes and like those errant throws that he kind of be throwing sometimes, I feel like it's stemming from his mechanics. So the fact that I hear him and I keep hearing people talk about how, he's working on his mechanics, I feel like Dak might have like a really, like another MVP year this year. You know what I'm saying? Like the first part of the season of last year,
right?
I feel like he might have a whole year just like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like the last thing I wanted to say was just basically with the Dalton Schultz thing. I just kind of feel like I heard Coach Marv say this is when the rubber meets the road, when you got to kind of pay. I'm mad Dalton Schultz is caving. I wish he would have kept holding out, because Stephen Jones didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your golden boy beat you in the ass. You wasn't expecting it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, so now, you know what I'm saying? But, Dalton Schultz was like one of the first people we had, we signed. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you tried to pay him like he was like DeMarcus Lawrence. But he's not like I'm saying, like the level of player that DeMarcus Lawrence is. But you tried to lowball DeMarcus, and DeMarcus was one of the last people to get his money. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shenanigans that I be talking about. But that's just kind of how I feel. And the last thing is, also in this chat, when the chat be talking kind of crazy.
They
you
do.
know what I'm saying? Like, so like, man, some of you, hey, I'm gonna put my number on here. Hey, if y'all feel some type of way about what I said, we can have a conversation about it. I mean, God, good grief, like, they be talking kind of crazy, like, just hit me up and we can talk about it. Don't just get on the chat and just start talking. But overall, this is kind of how I feel about that law. And one love, man.
One love to you, man. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for calling in, fam.
All right.
That's a good call from you, man. Good call, man. Hey, what's your name again, man? Man, you left before I got your name. But we got Coach Marv, man. Next, shout out to you, Coach Marv.
What's going on, Law? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing
well.
all
right, man.
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain, Coach.
They can't worry about it. I'm finna be a myth buster today. Law might make some people upset, might make you a little upset.
That's okay.
Law, I'm finna bust a lot of bubbles of some myths that I haven't really not liked seeing lately. All right, one, there's a couple of them. One, Cowboys fans, I watch film, I watch play after play, I watch the patterns of the games. I'm not saying that this offensive line last year was top ranked, but they wasn't as bad as people were saying they were either.
Okay, I'm following.
And the reason why the run game wasn't there is because of the lack of trying to run the ball creatively.
Yeah.
They just, all of a sudden, this offense just got rid of creativity. And when they did come back with creativity now and then, like the game that Tony Pollard ran the long touchdown with an outside run, they may have ran that run about two times in that game. It almost seemed like they were scared to have success running the ball because it was something else they wanted to do. So, just a little bit more commitment to this run game, and this run game wouldn't have fell off as bad. You can't go from 68% run the ball in your 6-game winning streak to back down to a 40% a run to pass ratio in the last games of the year and expect to be still the same as a running team. Okay, that's one myth. The other one, Law, here is I'm gonna test you with this one. Law, I know you love LVE. I know you do. And I know the 2018 LVE we're always trying to get back to. And I hear people talking about the defense and they glass over LVE. But they get on all these other players about their productivity. They talk about if Lamb could be the number one receiver. All these other issues they're talking about that guys have proven that they have had. Last year had great years, but they glass over this guy, and the film does not lie. The film, I'm not talking about something that I'm saying that, but the film does not lie. He will look good and show, he will look good at this time of the year. He always does.
Right.
But when the pads are on, his level of not being physical and attacking shows glaringly.
Right.
So just when we get on this bandwagon about any veteran, Keywan, what they were talking about, Keywan, another guy they were talking about.
Keywan Alexander, man.
Keywan Alexander, Ian Hitchison, Anthony Barr. Let's be realistic, Cowboy fans, and I want y'all to really think about this. And this is the real reason why they're not in Dallas. Because once they step on the field and once they hit the grass, LV will not play anymore.
Okay.
That's just plain and simple. When they see the play and the rest of their teammates see the play, that's it. But he could play over a Neal that never played linebacker. He could play over a guy like Jabril Cox that was a rookie. I watched this fan base destroy Jalen Smith, and he wasn't playing. But Jalen was no worse than what we got in the LVE. But we give him passes. This is where I say it's a travesty here. Because I'm not going on what I like. I love the guy. I think the guy is an ultimately Cowboy. But the film don't lie. And for 3 or 4 years, when he's healthy, anytime you step on that field, you are considered healthy. We talk about numbers of other guys. This guy's numbers and Pro Football Focus, if you want to go there,
right?
None of them show that we shouldn't be looking to get a veteran presence in here at linebacker. And I'm not one of the Cowboys to try to hide this,
right?
To hide his playing time. Let's just call it like we call it with everybody else.
Well, Coach, I get what you're saying with LVE. I'm rooting for LVE at this point because I want this team to be successful, but I'm also trying to replace LVE at this point as well. I think that the Cowboys dropped the ball by not looking into somewhere in this draft to go linebacker earlier. However, I do see Damone Clark in the future to be that guy that now we can forget about LVE. And the Jabril Cox situation, I think this is the thing. They was in process of squeezing out Jalen Smith and LVE with Keanu O'Neal and Jabril Cox. They was trying to do that, and the injuries occurred. LVE during the latter parts of the season last season had about 3 good games. Literally had 3 good games, and that's what they hanging on. That's what LVE battle cry is. Hey, give me another year. Those 3 games are not a myth.
Yeah.
That's his only battle cry.
Let me explain this. He had 3 games where he had okay plays, not good games.
That counted a lot though, compared to what Neil. You see Neil out there.
This is what, and I'll say this right quick, I'll let you go.
Yeah.
This is where, and I guess this is the coach in me, the football in me, and I guess a lot of people look for splash plays to consider that being good quality play. I can get a guy to get a pick 6 or a fumble, a big hit and a sack, and we'll say he had a great game.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, he had a horrible game. He just got one splash play. And I understand it goes a lot of way because it's what people remember. But in actual fact, these are the things that's going to put us over the top. But when I hear our insiders and people talking, and they just talk of like LVE is going to be okay at linebacker, and I watched them destroy Jalen Smith when he was here. Yeah. And I was looking at when Jalen Smith was playing. LVE was no better or probably worse. And I was like, is this going to change? But it's actually fact, if they don't bring another person in, that's right there is what we call coaching malpractice. Yeah. And I cannot be the life of me of all the great things that Dan Quinn has done.
Yeah.
And the putting players, I cannot think of the life of me that is a Dan Quinn decision.
Yeah, but here's the only thing, Coach. I give Dan Quinn the longitude and latitude to do anything that he wants on his defense until he proves us otherwise. Like right now, Dan Quinn got the keys to the castle over there in Cowboys country. So I'm just going to sit back and just enjoy this ride. I think that the whole situation with Jalen Smith, the reason why they got rid of him, similar to the reason why they got rid of Amari Cooper and La'el Collins, is because of his personality. Remember,
same thing. I'm gonna say right quick.
Go ahead.
La'el Collins, Boss Cowboy showed us film. I remember me and him talking after maybe the 5th game of the season. We was calling. I called. He had a call-in show, and I had told him. I was one of the people on the beginning of saying when I saw Steele playing his 5th straight game, I said this is not just a flash in the pan. These first 5 games is showing that this guy is good. And I said then, the boss can tell you, I said then, they may have had their fix at guard based off what Steele was playing. And for Lyle Collins to be in Dallas for the rest of his career, he would have to say, I will play guard. At that particular time, that was after the New England game. I said, if he wanted to play in Dallas the rest of his career, he would have to play guard. But I don't believe Lyle Collins felt that he wanted to play guard.
He didn't want to play,
I think that's the only thing that fell out of graces with him. But if he said he was willing to play guard with no problem, he would still be in Dallas. But when he said he's not, he thought he was a cycle.
And to that degree, that's the same thing with Jalen Smith. Put it like this, Coach, before I let you go.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Smith is making more money now than LVE, and is counted as dead money. He's counted $6.8 million of dead money. LVE is on a contract now for $3 million. So it had nothing to do with like talent-wise or what have you. It's about something that they just didn't like with the personality of Jalen Smith because they paying him more.
I think
still now.
They didn't want to get guaranteed with that if he didn't get rid of that. If that any day of the year he got hurt, they would have been locked in full guarantee for the rest of the contract.
No doubt.
He wouldn't give up that clause. But you know something? I'll say this right quick, Law. He still got $6 million on the books of dead money.
Yep, dead money.
And we got $3 million in the LVE out there.
Right.
I just hope that $3 million don't turn to dead money.
Right. Well, we rooting for him, man. I got no choice, Coach, but to root for him, man. But appreciate you, Coach, man.
All right, man. Have a good one, Law.
Yes, indeed. That's Coach Marv, man, off the top ropes. Look back at LVE's last game before we got some more audio to play. But as the phone line increased, man, I love talking to you guys. So I'd rather talk to you guys. LVE in his final game with the Cowboys, he led the team in tackles. And we go back and forth talking about that because we've seen, I think it was 20, y'all help me out, was it 19 or 2020? That Jalen Smith led the team in tackles. But in this particular game, he had 13 tackles and 5 solos against the 49ers, right? And that is a situation that maybe his camp was saying, hey, man, don't count me out, man. What you guys seen in that last final game, I'm going to deliver that all next year, man. I tell you what, give me $3 million. And we'll figure this thing out. And I think he got like a $3 million contract or less. So we'll find out. And I don't think that this contract that LVE got is fully guaranteed. I think it's only like $1 million or such. It's just only guaranteed. So if Jabril Cox come out swinging and somebody else that we're not even talking about, Harper come out swinging, then all of a sudden it's sayonara, you know. Salute to LVE, he's gone. But that's a story of a different day. All right, so we have the 316. You've been waiting patiently over here. You're live.
Wow.
What's good? What's good?
Hey, what's good, bro, man? This is Deontay calling from the WK all the way up in Kansas, man. I've been listening to you now. Just want to tell you, man, you got the best thing popping right now.
Oh, man, I appreciate it.
As far as Cowboy Nation go, you get hands down. I done looked at several of the podcasts, man. You the realest. You got the best thing popping.
Oh, man, I appreciate
that.
Congratulations, man.
I listened to you about Parcells, and I listened to you about, what we need. I'm 45. I grew up watching the Cowboys, okay? The one thing we're missing is a damn fullback.
Okay.
A true-to-life fullback. You want to run and pound. I mean, if you look at from the time Switzer left, all the running backs we had, while all of them was always in the top, because they had a fullback. We had a fullback for that short second and goal, third and goal, fullback. We never got stopped back in the day. Those was automatic points. If you ain't got a fullback back there, you see what's going on. You see what's happening.
Yeah.
Not to mention, but the Dolphins coordinator, the young back, he was like a year or two older than Dak. What's his name?
You saying Tony Pollard? You got Tony Pollard. You got Ezekiel Elliott, and then I think Rico, he's hurt. So you got guys like Malik Davis that's fighting for a role. Hardy, he's fighting for a role on his team. Ryan Nall, I told you guys, look out for him. He's fighting for a role on his team. And then, of course, we got the...
Can we bring the fullback back?
We got one of the big boys, the fullback. His name is the tip of my tongue, man. Oh, my gosh. Y'all put his name down, man. He pulled trucks, man. But...
Man, thank you. Okay, he pulled trucks.
He pulled trucks.
Put him in the game.
Put him in the game. But here's the thing, though, man. Nick Ralston, appreciate you, Patrick, man, for coming off of that. Yeah, Nick Ralston. Here's my thing. You heard my analogy before, right? About what do you do for a living, fam, in Kansas?
Man, I'm an actor and comedian.
You're a comedian. You're a comedian. Okay.
Yeah, and actor.
And actor. Okay, man.
All the above. Entertainer.
You're an entertainer, right? And
yes, sir.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
But here's the thing, though, Chief. You are an entertainer. It don't matter how good you can write your jokes, right? If you can't deliver them, meaning that if you just give them to one random person in the chat and they try to do your stand-up comedian, your actor, situation for the nation, they will not deliver. So what I'm trying to say is, even with Kellen Moore, that's not his cup to utilize the fullback of T. That's not his situation there. Spread them offense, even in Boise. They like to spread them, use the running back as the wide receiver, use the running back out in space, running the running back out of shotgun. So what you're saying may work, but not for Kellen Moore. You pick up this particular system and you put maybe Kyle Shanahan in this system with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard and Ralston and all of those boys, maybe we talking about something. It don't matter who we have because they don't know how to utilize them. They don't even know how to utilize Tony Pollard.
You right. You absolutely right. 110%. I get where you're going with that. So that being said, since Kellen is running the show, how about he give Dak more control of calling plays on the fly?
You see, now you got me in a situation whereas I do like the notion of Dak Prescott calling plays, but here's my here's my rebuttal to this. Here's my rebuttal to this. I'm not saying that Dak is slow or anything, but normally when you have those quarterbacks that call their plays, they have a genius of an offensive coordinator who been down tooth and nail through the battles, right? Who understand, or a genius of a defensive guy. People love the fact that Peyton Manning called his own plays, but he earned every bit of it. Peyton Manning was the brain of operation, but it was mixed in with the coachings that he had with him. It is even with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. So those guys, the biggest problem is that what we are watching is a guy that Dak Prescott beat out, hands down, for that quarterback role, for him to ultimately become his quarterback coach, for him to ultimately now call his plays. And what we are expecting is for Dak Prescott to also find some unknown areas as relates to knowledge to be even better, which I it's not going to happen that quickly.
No, what you just said, are you saying that Kellen might be holding a little animosity and not using Dak to his full potential?
No. Kellen Moore is speaking. Okay. No, Kellen Moore is speaking to coaching from his level. This is Kellen Moore's level. And as he grows a level, yes, he's growing, Kellen Moore himself. Dak Prescott had already usurped him, or Dak Prescott already trumped him.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a Cowboys issue.
So is he holding back then?
Is he holding back? Let me ask you this, and I hate to be crass like this. I hate to be this way. Cowboy Nation. And it sounds like me being negative.
Man, speak your truth. Speak your truth.
Did Tony Romo really learn from Jason Garrett?
You would have to go there, wouldn't you?
Jason Garrett is Jason Garrett. So Tony Romo had to become better, right? And the moment he became better, I'm just using my hand as a lever. That was it. There was nothing really that Jason Garrett could extract or pull out of him. You see, Parcells was still pulling and extracting that good stuff out of him. Meaning that I'm not finna anoint you. No, I'm not finna give you things. No. You still got to clean up your room. You still got, look, the daddy got to eat first. I'm finna eat, and then you can eat. Let me bless the table. But see, what happened is that the Cowboys said, no. We're going to allow him to bless the table. The youth, the Tony Romo. We're going to allow Tony Romo, to give these things to the nation, So that's the problem. I said this and I mean it. Iron sharpens iron. Steel sharpens steel. We don't have a person, and I'm not relegating or sullying or denigrating Kellen Moore. I'm not saying that he's trash. But what I'm saying is, collectively speaking, is that Dak done already passed up Kellen Moore.
Enough said.
That's all I'm saying. It's hard to pull out something that you already passed up on.
And that was my whole point about giving him more options to deal with during play calling.
They would have to bring in somebody that's more knowledgeable. And I might sound crass when I say that, and unfortunately that's not the Cowboys' way. Unfortunately.
Man, see, my thing is, if we went back to that old school fullback and went back to that old offense that we used to have, there's no doubt in my mind we Super Bowl bound. Because running the ball opens up play action. Play action open up those big-ass passes down the field to where, we're going to have 2,000-3,000-yard receivers.
Man, you speaking facts, man. We were Super Bowl bound last year if you change some of the philosophies up. But I appreciate you, man, so much. Man, what's your name again?
DeAndre, man.
Hey, man, you got a joke or something, man, you going to give the nation, man? Said you a comedian, man. We need to hear it. We need to laugh.
Actually, you want to laugh? Check out my movie. It's on Tubi and Amazon Prime. It's called Unsurety.
Unsurety. Let me put it in the chat. But let me see. What's the name of it?
Unsurety. Unsurety.
We gonna look it up, man. We're gonna look it up.
Oh, you gonna roll in the first 10 minutes, I promise you.
On the movie. On Amazon Prime?
Yep, Amazon Prime and Tubi.
Okay. Is it Bray Films or?
Yep, that's it.
That's it. I see you right there, man. I will play the trailer. I will play the trailer, but I don't know if it's. I have rights to all of the music.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. It's one of those type of movies, huh?
Oh yeah, I play an agent NFL football player dealing with baby mama drama and all kind of things.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that a little later on then. But I appreciate you, man, Dion.
All right, man. Take it easy, man.
My love, man. Appreciate you.
What?
Good call from him. Good call from him, Cowboy Nation. We love hearing that from my guy Dion, all the way from Kansas, man. Y'all gonna check it out. But since I got all the way here, let me see if I can. Don't want to click on the trailer because he said is but y'all go here, and I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go that. And then I thank everybody for watching. See, we got people all over the globe that tune. Oh, man, that's a long link. But y'all click on that link right there, man, and y'all can watch it, the movie. Stop with the Super Bowl stuff. Let's win a playoff game first. My guy Sam is spitting at us the truth, man. I appreciate you, Sam, for that, man. I really do. We do need to stop that. And then I think you did another one, donation. I really thank you, man, for your donations here, Sam. And you said, let me see if I can read the donation before we let another caller in. We can have the greatest and the most skilled players on our roster. What can we expect from these coaches? Will they run the ball again like the playoffs? You got to run the ball, man. You do. You do got to figure out a way to run that ball efficiently, running, not just running for the sake of running for the last chance of me saying that. You got to efficiently run the ball. All right, so it is now 1 o'clock. Let's speed these calls up, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. 281, you live.
Hey, what's going on, Law?
Doing good, man. I can't complain.
Yeah, same here, same here. As the guy was talking about having a true fullback, had similar thoughts in the last few seasons. If we were to do that, he would have to be a utility fullback, somebody that can block but also make plays, kind of like a Richie Anderson, like we had in 03 and 04. You know what I mean? That's probably why they haven't found that prototype. You know, it's hard to find a fullback that can block and, catch passes and run the ball efficiently. But call me crazy. You think if they utilize Pollard the right way, like to his maximum potential, that he could be the fourth player in NFL history to have 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving?
Oh, wow. He was shy of that number last year. If you really look at everything, he had 790-some yards or what have you, and we knew, we know for sure, that he was limited in rushing attempts.
He had about a little over 1,000 from scrimmage, but he missed, a couple games from injury.
Right.
In a couple games, he only had like 4 or 5 touches. I believe if he was utilized properly, it would take somebody probably with a bigger mind than Kellen Moore, but yeah, he could probably reach. He's the type of player that could probably do that. But what I was going to say is, this is on my video 5 days ago. How we were all talking, after the dynasty that as long as Jerry Jones stayed GM, that we never see another ring, and that's what a lot of Cowboys fans would always say. And now Steven, has been running the team for 10 years, and he's a polar opposite of his father. The way he runs things. Jerry is a big risk taker, big spender, and Steven is the polar opposite. And I'm afraid we're going to be saying the same thing about Steven, as he continues to take more and more control. That we ain't going to win one as long as Steven stays GM. Because if they would split the difference, just split the difference a little bit, I think that'd be a Super Bowl recipe. You know what I mean? Just,
balance
don't go as crazy
between the two. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, balance between the two.
Don't go as crazy on a spending spree as Jerry, draft wise. Develop and sign your own guys, but also sign some good free agents, whenever your team is primed and ready to roll. Like this year. This year is the year to go all in, So I think if they would split the difference, him and his father, with their strategies, I think that'd be a good way to go about things, because they are polar opposite of the way they approach it, But I think that'd be something to wish for. But we'll see. I mean, the way Steven's doing it, you can win the division, maybe win a playoff game, but unless you go on the lucky run like the Bengals or the 2017 Eagles, it's going to be hard to get into that third round or the Super Bowl. But we'll see.
No doubt, man.
I just calling in to mention that, and that's about it, brother. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate you, man. Good call. Cowboys Reports in charge by Charles, man. Good points there. Good points all together, man. Be sure to check him out. He one of the mods now in the chat, so be sure to check him out. And I really appreciate his work. And we have the 757. You live. $757.
Hello?
Yeah, man, what's good, man? Talk to me, man.
Hey, what's going on, man? This Dustin, man. Dustin Bates from the 75. I want to touch in on the man was talking about LVE earlier.
Right.
Start with that. One thing I noticed, and it seemed like with LVE, man, he plays. It seemed like since his last injury, he plays not to get hurt.
Right.
And if you see during the games, a lot of his tackles are arm tackles from behind.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was kind of mad last year when they let Jalen go for LVE because, like you said, he played no worse than LVE did.
Right.
And with Jalen, I will say this, you know, he will get in there and try to make a tackle, you know, within the trenches. But you know, LVE seems just to play scared, man. And that can hurt as a defense, you know, just as a player, you know. So that's pretty much what I've seen from him a lot of times. Just that playing scared. And I want to touch in on as far as like the Kellen Moore. You know, I was hoping that, you know, as a Cowboys fan, I was hoping somebody picked him as, like, I was hoping he was going to go to the Dolphins.
Right.
Just to get him,
had to get him about the way.
Out of our heads.
Yeah,
get him out the way, man, because, you know, we let Scott Linehan go because of the opposite of what we got Kellen Moore for. We let go Scott Linehan because he had no creativity in the passing game.
Right.
You know, Dez Bryant brought that up, which initially got him out of Dallas, of how he stayed the whole game, he lined up on one side of the field. You know, with no creativity
in
the passing game.
Yep.
But, you know, I will say this, Scott Linehan, he had more creativity in the run game. You know, with him there, we could run that ball. You know what I'm saying?
Scott Linehan had more experience. So it wasn't that much of it. It wasn't that much of creativity. It was just more experience. And what we're seeing now is a baby Kellen Moore who pulled all of his information from Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan. And when you do that, you tend to be doing the same thing. Regardless, look, they say, "Law, man, you act just like your dad, man." That's why me and my dad bump heads, because we so much alike, right? I haven't spoken to the man in over a year or so because we had a disagreement over something. I love him to death, but we too much the same, right? So and that's just how it is. But I act so much like him, and when I walk around from my small hometown, they say, "Man, you act just like your granddad," because that's just how it is, even when I'm not trying. So it goes to this point right here. Kellen Moore, regardless of what people want to see out of Kellen Moore and perceive to think that he's going to do something differently, he's acting just like his dad and his granddad. That's just the reality of it. And we can only hope that year 4 that some of his experience help him out. That's the only hope, because the levels of creativity will still be the same.
Yeah, that was my biggest, when they made him the offensive coordinator, my biggest question was, why would you want somebody who's mentored by somebody you don't want? You know, Scott Linehan was at Detroit, Kellen Moore was at Detroit, you know, and just mentor him for that. So, you know, why would you want that? But, you know, maybe this year, I hope it works for the better and he can learn off his experience. But if we don't go past, you know, if it's the same old story and it's, you know, with the offense and the same old Cowboys need to run the ball more and such need to use Tony Pollard more, whatever, the same old storylines that it's been, then just my hopes, if it ends like it did again last year, you know, maybe, you know, he's out of there. And the same with McCarthy. But I'm rooting for both of them.
Right.
But at the same time, if it fails again, then it's just time to move on.
Yeah. Appreciate you so much, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you,
All
man.
right, man.
Good
Appreciate
call.
it, man. Love you so, man. Check you out every day, man. But keep doing your thing.
Yeah, that's a good call right there, man. Yeah.
The conference has been locked.
593, you're live.
Yeah, hello. How you doing?
Man,
Elijah Serrano from Ecuador.
Elijah, man, talk to me, man. Ecuador, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, man. I just wanted to make some points. They're always talking about Zeke falling off. But I think the run game coordinator, you know, the way Kellen calls the running plays, they're not sophisticated enough, or the blocking schemes are not good enough. They're just plain simple zone blocks, or when they're pulling, they don't really kicking out anybody, or it's just too simple, and it makes Zeke look not that good.
Mm-hmm. It do. It's a simple situation. Yep.
This is a problem that the passing game is looking great, but the running game not as good. I think Zeke's getting a lot of yards, and the offensive line really hasn't been that good. You know, especially when Zeke is getting hit at the line, not giving him a chance to even. I think that if he was playing in Cleveland, running behind that offensive line, I think he would have had at least 1,600 yards. Wow. And everybody's always talking about Zeke's falling off, but no one's talking about Kellen Moore, and no one's talking about the offensive line. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, to that degree, just like what Coach Marv was saying, like, hey, the offensive line wasn't that bad last season. But the offensive line is pretty much based upon consistency. Everyone must be on the same page. Like I said, we can have the Hulk and Superman on this offensive line, but if those guys are not beating from the same drum or not on the same page, is a better way to say it, then they won't do anything that's spectacular. So this offensive line played too much around with it. Yep.
They're talking about Garrett. You know, he coaches, Kellen coaches like Garrett or like Linehan. I don't think he coaches like Linehan or Garrett. I don't think he comes from. I think he's more like Boise State, and he's passing, and he's thinking about, you know, passing, you know.
Put it like this: in the last 3 years, what do we do different on offense?
No, nothing.
Since 2016, what do we do different?
It always starts off where he's motioning and he's doing different things. In the beginning of the year, it starts looking like pretty cool, and then mid season, he doesn't motion anymore. He doesn't go over. He doesn't change sets or tight ends moving over to the other side, or no one's motioning anymore. It's just a straight up running play, and it makes. And you know what? I could see it a mile away. Or everybody can see it a mile away that when Zeke is going to get the ball.
Yep.
They know when Zeke is going to get the ball. So I don't know. I think that Zeke doesn't look as good, and everybody keeps talking about Zeke like getting 1,000 yards is not. I think getting 1,000 yards in the Cowboys is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, you're right. So we'll find out, man. I appreciate you for calling in, though, man. All the way from Ecuador, right?
Ecuador.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you so much, bro.
Okay. Just wanted to know what you thought about it.
Yeah, that's what I thought of it, man. Appreciate it, man. Good call from him all the way from Ecuador, man. And I love the fact that we got people all over the globe, and he's right. This offense is still the same, basically, and he said that there's more emotions, yeah, but it's still the same. We don't do anything different since 2016. And one thing that I can say that we do differently, we don't have the lend hand special anymore. I would like for them to include and bring that one back, by the way, and let's include more reverse sweeps since we got the same playbook, basically. All right, we rushing through this thing. Let me do this.
The conference has been unlocked.
Oh, let me lock it.
The conference has been locked.
Okay, so we're going to try to knock out these calls, man. Right. Let me see, boy. We got, I don't know, maybe it's the same person. Because I see your number in here multiple times, but from the 430, you're live. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. You're live. 430. Hello. All right. Well, That was the last caller since the room is locked. He's literally in here about 4 or 5 times. So maybe having issues with his phone. Let me see. 430, you're live. Hello. Hello. Close the door. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. I was just about to hang up on you.
Hey, man, I know my thing tripping, my phone tripping. I'm sorry. Hey,
You good,
shout
man.
out, man. I love your show.
I appreciate
Thanks
you,
for letting
man.
me on.
Anytime, man. Talk to me,
Yeah,
man.
I have the same concerns.
Hey, turn me down just a little bit, man. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down. I get an echo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Now, man, we can all hear you, man. Give me what you got.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You good.
I said I have the same concern. I'm not worried about the defense at all. Defense is my least concern for Dallas. Now we got Dan Quinn. The offense is my concern. I'm like I said, the creativity, the blocking, and I also wonder if they go just target different players and make the best of what they do, like Tolbert and Zeke. I mean, if the running game ain't working, do something else. Don't keep trying to force nothing. I'm just concerned about the offense, not the talent, the scheme.
Mm-hmm. The scheme. Yeah.
You know, not the talent. I'm not worried about the talent. I worry about if they're going to utilize their players right. That's what I'm concerned. If they're going to just call plays like they normally do, or they're going to do something different.
I mean, we got explosive guys on the offense, and with the creativity that we have on the defensive side, like you said, I'm kind of like that. I just don't want to say it like as boldly that you said. Like, I ain't worried about the defense because that's low key me. I'm not really worried about it.
If anything wrong with the defense, it's because somebody got hurt, not because the scheme and talent is not there. Dan Quinn improved himself.
Yeah.
Consistent. And I think all the new pieces that we got, I think they're going to be aggressive. I think what the defense going to do is they're going to create turnover like they've been doing. The problem is what the offense going to do when they get the ball back.
Yeah. What they going to do when they get the ball back.
The red zones will scare me.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out with this offense. Last season, I literally said it's going to be the offense to carry the defense, right, for the first few half of the season games or what have you, which that literally happened. And now this season, I'm looking for this defense to carry the offense. But in a way, I think that Dak Prescott and company is going to at least keep the offense afloat. I think we can still be top 5 in offense.
Yeah, I don't think I worry about the red zone is that they don't do common sense stuff. If you got a running back making $50 million or you got a good running back, why throwing should be your last solution. If you're within 10 yards, pound the ball.
Pound it, yeah.
Don't be running back to 5 yards, all that stuff, trying to be pretty. Just ran up in there. And like I said, I think I lost a lot of lost opportunities because they wouldn't do simple plays, not because they went in the red zone. They just wouldn't do simple plays to get in the red zone.
Yes, indeed, man. You spitting right now the truth, man. I appreciate you, man. What's your name, fam?
Andrew, I'm in Texas. I'm in Longview, Texas.
Longview, man.
Texas.
Man, we
East Texas.
East Texas, man. I appreciate you, man.
45 minutes from Tyler. I know a lot of people heard of Tyler, Texas.
Yeah, Tyler, Texas. Yeah. Well, come on down to one of these games, man, and we got something for you, man, with Cowboys experience, man, where we gonna have some guys out there that currently play for the Cowboys, and we would love to see you out there, bro.
Okay. Yes. Most of the best talent come out of Texas.
Yes, indeed, man.
Pros, we all know that.
Yeah.
Texas and Florida.
Texas and Florida, man. Hey, man. Hey, and don't sleep on my Mississippi, man. We on the map too, though. We coming. But all right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right, you too. All right.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's a good call from him, man. Real good call. And as you guys look at the screen here, reason why I pulled that up is because I wanted to show you guys Osa, number 97.
Goodbye.
If you guys looking at the screen, you see him flash and get up front, get inside, and those are things that we really look for. Is a guy that can create pressure. This was his rookie year. Squeeze down inside. You see Jalen Smith is there, and, of course, LVE. But Osa, pay attention to 97, man. The way he penetrate, get upfield, and make the quarterback pay for all of their indecisiveness or indecisions there. And that's what we like to see. Hopefully going into year 2, 97 will be even faster, playing down inside and getting off of his releases. So that's why I give my guy, Dan Quinn, the longitude and latitude, because 97, last year, his rookie season, had 3 sacks, by the way. Look how he created that pressure, forced his pass to be arid throw. So, and then, of course, the boy running for his life. And a lot of people talked about, the aspect of this particular team that we facing. Oh, man, they're going to have a good offensive line. Well, we're going to have a good defensive line. We are. We really going to have a good defensive line.
I think I'm interested to see him block. He does a lot of things that I think are very useful, and the same thing with the defensive tackle from Arkansas, who might bring them a little edge and some quickness and nastiness in the middle of the defensive line. And then some of the other ones you're going to have to wait and see when they get in drills. But there's some of these rookie free agents. Bell, the safety, is one, and whoever number 40 is, I haven't learned all of that yet, but that's what this time of year is for. Bell's 41, and the receiver.
Hey, if he's saying number 40, that's my guy Thomas. Wanye. Look, Wanye Thomas. Y'all remember that name? Wanye Thomas. If he's talking about number 40, this is Brad Sham, Hall of Famer Brad Sham at this point. Let's listen to more of what he had to say.
From Western Illinois, number 3, Houston. I would keep an eye on him.
Dennis.
Those are the things that you go with an open mind when OTAs start. Keep in mind, we are allowed to watch 1 out of every 3 days of 3 of the 4 weeks of OTAs. But those are the things you go to look and try to find out about, and then you have a little better understanding about what to watch for when training camp starts.
You mentioned the tight end. Is he the type of guy that could make them, hold off on giving an extension to Schultz? That's maybe not right now, but as the season goes on, if Dalton doesn't have a contract.
I asked that because I was trying to ask some questions yesterday, exactly along that line, wondering if they would maybe think, let's see, okay, we see what we have, let's see how he develops. Now, the problem is you've got 1 month now exactly, as you guys know, to sign Schultz to a long-term deal.
Right.
Or you're going to go into the season without being able to do that, and then you've made a statement, whether you want to or not, to the player, that we're not going to give you that long-term deal right now. And so the one answer that I got back that really kind of resonated with me was it's way too early to tell, and you may not have that answer at the end of the year. It may just not be enough time. So I think in Schultz's case, they have to decide whether they can pay what the market now is for these last 2 or 3 guys who have signed tight end contracts. I think that Schultz does an awful lot of things for them.
Yep.
And I personally hope they find a way to make a deal with him. I think he would like to block better than he did last year, but he's got so much upside that I hope that they do that. But if they don't, I don't think that Ferguson will be the reason they don't. It's too early to say whether, if they were to lose Schultz after the year, whether what they have is going to be the answer or they're going to have to supplement it again. But I think that Ferguson's got some of what you're looking for to add to the mix.
Man, Schultz, boy, playing some hard ball with the Cowboys. And $10.9 million, he said, no, man, I'm not finna play on that. I'm not. But here's the thing, even if he's doing those individual drills, right, and he fool around and get some of these snaps for Jake Ferguson more and Sean McEwing, Sprinkles, he just the blocker, man. I'm not finna sully him, but he's just the blocker at this point. He's your big jumbo package guy. But Peyton Hendershot, all of those guys and Ian Blunton, all of those guys, if they get in more and more reps and Schultz fool around, Schultz got there by working hard. I'm not saying that Schultz is not a hard worker, but he got to where he's at now by working hard and performing and outperforming everybody in practice. And by him not practicing and doing his silent protest there, I say. And if he fool around be a step off or a step slower than what he was last season, or he regressed to his rookie year or his sophomore year, it could be trouble for him, because now you guys know that we are not afraid to say, okay, well, hey, it's Jake Ferguson time now, baby. Or is it Sean McEwen? Or it's Ian Blunton, whatever his name is. Or it could be Peyton Hendershot. Keep in mind, Cowboy Nation, Peyton Hendershot was on his way in Indiana. Now, he got hit up with that DV, that domestic violence situation. He got arrested or what have you. There's a mug shot out there. I'm not trying to sully his reputation. But you guys know how that goes with other teams as it relates to drafting someone or someone taking a good look at you. And that could have been the reason why he dropped out of the draft, because they didn't want to touch him. But Peyton Hendershot, he was on his way. He is really nice, Cowboy Nation. Soft hands. He got a little wiggle at the catch. And we will see whether or not that can really manifest itself this offseason. Just pay attention to Peyton Hendershot. But let's not sleep on Jake Ferguson, who I went back to look at majority of his college film again just to make sure. Jake is nice, Cowboy Nation. Jake is really nice. And I'm not saying that Jake is going to give you last year results of what Schultz brought to the table, but it will not be far-fetched that he can do some of those things. That's all I'm saying.
Brad Sham, voice of the boys, here on Sean and RJ via the Diamond Factory hotline. The two big offensive storylines this week: Tony Pollard moving around, leaner Dak Prescott being unleashed to use his legs more versus last year. How do you feel about those two issues, Brad? Really, Pollard's usage versus Zeke, who is now much maligned in the Metroplex, and then Dak using his legs more than last year.
So the Pollard story, last year, they were talking about doing that last year. And I remember a conversation at news conferences and training camp. And even in training camp last year, because of protocols, we still didn't get the opportunity to get even coaches off to the side. But the talk was, and McCarthy kind of led us in this direction, and certainly didn't disabuse us of the notion that with the versatility of both Pollard and Jarwin, to be able to, now this is last year, be able to function from wide receiver routes as well as what they do, that you had the chance to have a much more multiple offense than it looked like. And you could have Pollard line up at running back and not be a running back on that play, because what is he's going to run a wide receiver route.
Right.
So what they've shown so far is a little bit more of him actually lining up at wide receiver, but they're just looking at that right now. They've talked about it before. They talked about it last year. Frankly, Sean, last year, after listening to them in training camp, I expected to see something along the lines of, if you remember how the Steelers used Le'Veon Bell in his best years with them before he left them. He'd lined up in the slot, and he lined up wide, not just as a running back, and I kind of thought that we were going to see that with Pollard last year, and we never did. And so, I think that that's a thing that could happen. I think that they have to find ways early before they have Gallup. And I don't know how long he's going to miss in the regular season. He looks really good working off on the side, and I saw him at a golf tournament a month or so ago, and he's in a great frame of mind. But until they have Gallup at full strength, you're going to have to find other ways, because now you've taken out Cooper and Wilson and Gallup. And until he's back, you've got to find ways to create offense, and that's where using Pollard as a wide receiver can be a big help, and also Schultz's ability to get up the field can be used creatively. So when you talk about the Pollard thing, I just smile because I think we've heard it before, and let's see what they do with it. Dak, he looks phenomenal, and I really think that his lack of running was partly last year self-imposed, partly the coaching staff saying, "Look, he's got an uncertain leg still until we see it." And so that was a weapon that they'd had before. I don't think he's not going to be Lamar Jackson, but I do think that he'll run more. But the notion, here's what makes me laugh: the notion that Mike McCarthy is going to stand up at a news conference in June and tell the world how Dak Prescott is going to be used in the offense.
Yeah.
It's just laughable. It's a reasonable question, but the answer you get in June is just the answer you get in June, and there's nothing else to talk about. So it's really kind of meaningless. But I think when the games start, I think once we get to September and starts for real, I think that you'll see him be more involved using his legs, and that'll a lot of it be up to him. So much of this is up to him. I'll tell you another thing that I got a chuckle out of 2 weeks ago at OTAs, and this is, again, the opportunity to talk to guys in the locker room. They were, there's all the talk about how they've got to use both Lamb and Pollard more than they did last year. They got to get the ball to them.
Big fact.
And when there weren't a lot of people around, I said to him, when Witten was a rookie, Parcells used to say, "We've got to find a way to get the ball to Witten." And I said, I would say to Babe on the air, "Hey, Babe, how can they get the ball to Witten?" And Babe would say, Throw it. That would be the best way to do it. So Dak laughed, and he said, "Yeah." And he said, "And that's what we've got to do with Lamb." And I said, "Well, you've got the ball. I mean, aren't you going to decide?" And the look on his face and the look in his eye indicated to me that he's way ahead of everybody on that, and how much. Now, you didn't ask me about Lamb, but I think this is a thing that we're going to get a look at once the season gets going. It seems to me that Dak sees everything in Lamb that you want to see from a number one receiver, and that Dak, as the quarterback, gaining in confidence every year, is going to take it upon himself to make sure that Lamb is treated as the number one receiver in terms of the distribution.
That was the end of that, man. Oh, I could just listen to old boy all day, man. Brad Sham, man. Appreciate him for his insights, man. Click that link that's in the chat log there, Cowboy Nation, to listen to the full interview of Brad Sham with 105.3 The Fan. I said the film, 105.3 The Film. That's fine. That's dope. That's dope right there. But The Fan, 105.3 The Fan. Shout out to those boys over there. Cowboy Nation. Brad is telling the truth. Brad is flat out telling the truth. If you want to see those boys get more opportunities, give them the ball more. I looked back at two things. I think it was this right here, Tony Pollard, in touches. He had 130 touches. That put him at 41 or 41st place, right? There's 32 teams out there. 31 other teams out there, basically, if you really want to contextualize it like that. And there were 41 other running backs with more touches than him. If we can get him at least down to 20th in touches, don't you guys know that would have been 1,600 yards, right? If we just do the quick math or what have you. So give this man more touches. Split this thing up. Let's look at it like this. The last time the Cowboys won a playoff game, Ezekiel Elliott rushed for over 120 yards against the Seattle Seahawks, which defense was not nothing to sneeze at that time too, right? They had Wagner out there. They had some guys out there. So get back to running the ball. Also, let me see far as CD Lamb touches or what have you, or attempts or targets, and see what he was ranked at. I didn't think to pull him up on the fly right quick far as his positional ranking. Bear with me, Cowboy Nation. 21st in targets. So get that down to 11. Get that down to maybe 10. Increase his production, and you will see an increase in his play. His yards, touchdowns. That's just the law of averages. Right, Cowboy Nation? All right, I done stole enough of your time, Cowboy Nation. Be sure to smash that like button, share this content, and let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. Check out my website, lawnationsports.com, and let's continue to grow it from here. Cowboy Nation, I thank those who donated. I thank those who shared this content and those who super chat. Shout out to you, Joey. Young Blood over there on the Facebook with your love and support, especially the 200 stars. I appreciate you for that. And we have multiple other people that give back to this channel. Dwayne Knightner, appreciate you. This gave me stars or what have you on the Facebook groove of things. I thank everybody. Be sure to know that when you go over to the website, lawnationsports.com, it's my handle on my YouTube. Just put .com in there. Go all the way down to the bottom and leave your feedback. Connect with the nation. Give me your thoughts of everything, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win this beautiful hat. And what I'm going to do is, since it's the 15th of this month, we're not even going to wait till the end of the month. Maybe we'll just do the selection this Friday. How about that? That's so we can kick off another giveaway for this month. So we're going to do 2 giveaways for this month. Henry, appreciate you. Brian Smith, thank you for the 100 stars. 24/7 Cowboy, $9.99 for your mind. Law seems like now the hope law has calmed down. The hop law. You don't hear the talking head saying we are second or third place in the East. It seems like Cowboys, we are the contenders. Oh, I see what you're saying. The hoopla. The hoopla. I like that. It has calmed down. All right, so you're right. Last year was the Washington team. They were saying that all they need is a quarterback, right? A quarterback that would change the mindset, the temperaments of that team. And they got their quarterback. And we still waiting for them to do anything, right? And he got injured. The year before that, it could have been the Giants. They always count the Cowboys out. Now it's the Eagles. Shout out to them, right? Shout out to them. Let me find me some good music so we can get this thing going. The aspect of life. We live this moment right now to understand that even in this amount of time, that the beginning is here. I don't know if I can feel this one though. Hold on, let me find me another music. This is 2. Let me see if I can find me one right quick. Hold on. Nah, is this gonna get my mind together? I like this one. Nah, let me see if I find me another one. Yeah. It's like a D. I don't know if I can get off on this one. Oh yeah. I can get this one a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now this the type of music I need right here. Oh yeah. My bad if I destroyed your ears, man. Nah, that sound like a boss music though. Nah, I can't get that one. I can't get that one. I'm trying to find me another one. Let me see if this one can go. That sounds like sad music though. For the gods of Olympus abandoned me. The Cowboy Nation destroyed the vision that I had. But I come here to tell you, with strong dedication and the meditations of our hearts, even in the midst of what Stephen Jones is doing and not pulling the trigger.
This is Sparta!
We still gravitate with this team. I like that one, I like that one. But it still ain't it, I can't get off on that one. Let me see what this one is. I love y'all, man, so much. Let me see if I can get this one though. Let me see how that one go. Like one of them, like a superhero music. The villain is coming through. I don't know where I got that music from. I know what I can do. I know what I can do. I'm gonna go old school on y'all. I know what I can do. Y'all bear with me. Cover your ears on this one. This is like Game of Thrones type of beat right there. Nah. Let me go old school on y'all right quick. I think this one is. Cover your ears. I know that was loud. Oh. Who remember that one? Come on. That's too loud, huh? Yeah. Come on. I used to have my fire on this one. I saved this one for the season, baby. Yeah.
This is Sparta! Are you not entertained?
Come on, baby.
Are you not entertained?
Come on, baby. They say, Law, you crazy. They say, Law, this team ain't going nowhere. They said, Law, it's been 27 years. They said, Law.
This is Sparta!
Come on, baby. I'm crazy, baby.
No, God!
Come on. Hey, some other people.
Finish him!
I'm letting it get into me first. I gotta let my third eye open up.
Hey!
I gotta let it open up, baby.
Come back, thief!
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth!
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Come on. Woo, Cowboy Nation. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, and plan for it, and lose all terror of your mind, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it.
Just drop it.
Yeah.
You could not live with your own failure.
Let's go, baby! Yeah. Yeah. Let's go, baby.
This is Sparta! This is Sparta!
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Slow it down for y'all. Let's go. Yeah. Slow it down just a little bit. And you. What Jerry said. Jerry, he hit me up. He just hit me up. I follow wherever you go, whatever you do. Play it too. Thanks for the donation. 24/7.
You can't handle the truth.
7 more and another one.
And another.
And another one.
Lean forward just a little bit.
Don't let the street lights hit you all alone.
Street lights hitting you.
You know it's dangerous to go alone.
Come on.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too?
If it's your birthday this month, happy birthday to you.
Wherever you go, whatever you do,
Watching at this point and you have not smashed that like button.
shame. If a paper crane can fly, shame. Then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns. But there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something doesn't exist.
It missed the nasty kind.
So you understand the words I'm saying to you.
Yeah. Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
So the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play for you?
Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too.
I want Mason.
Finish him. Fatality. D.